Yeah, I broke my glasses the other day, so I have to wear these. That's why I'm wearing them as well.
Wearing your glasses.
Yeah, I broke my actual glasses, so I've got to wear these, and these are prescription.
Welcome all to the To Be podcast, where we talk to the people that are giving inspiration in the world, being what you want to be, and most importantly, giving you guys some wisdom to use some tools that have helped our own life and adopt that in your own life as well. My name's Kyle again. I'm the host. This is episode 4 of the To Be podcast. I am welcomed by one of my friends, Kyle, as well. We have something in common that most it's really hard to connect with people like that. So I'll let you introduce yourself, man. Like what I mean, the floor's
All right. Well, my name is Kyle Will, but I tack inspire onto the end of that because I think it works well for my branding as well. So, and the reason I did that is because I am a healthy lifestyle and disability advocate, and I'm keen to show the world that no matter where you come from, you're able to get out there and absolutely crush it in life. And I don't want to hear any excuses. I just want people to see me and go, if that guy can do it, I can fucking do it as well. So that's kind of my angle. That's what I like doing, and I pretty much try and make health, wellness, fitness, motivational style content, and do that to make a positive impact in this world.
awesome, man. So when it comes to that, like what made you get into that space of like allowing people to be inspired and become healthy and everything else in between?
To be honest, I used to be 100 kilos or 101 kilos to be exact, and that's at 5'6", mind you. So I was a very big guy. All I ever did was focus on money, and I didn't ever focus on my health. I was always really good at making money, never really good at looking after my health. It got eventually to the point where I was like, I have to fix this now, or I'm not going to be around much longer. Like I'm just not going to be able to do it. It was getting hard to walk. It was a real struggle. So I started getting fit. And I didn't think anything of it. I just thought I was just getting fit. You know what I mean? I was like, whatever. Like, I need to do it. Like, I've done everything else. Once I got relatively fit, people were like, bro, that's pretty wild. You've managed to do that. And I'm like, what? Why? Like, and they're like, it's inspiring as hell, dude. Like, heaps of people can't do that. And I'm like, oh, maybe I should try and do something like that, and in fact to try and get other people into it, and then a lot of my other friends kind of started training and just kind of like intuitively started seeing what I was doing and were like, I want to kind of get fit. And I was like, maybe I should really just focus on that. So I started posting on TikTok like a few years ago, and like I didn't want to reveal my disability, to be honest. For quite some time I was still a bit self-conscious, not really empowering it. So I didn't really get anywhere until I actually came out of my shell and was like, all right, now we're going to inspire some people. And that's when I really became reborn as this is what I wanted to do.
Yeah, cool. And what is this disability you talk about?
So it's called Charcot-Marie-Tooth, and the version I have is 2. So it's CMT 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I know we both connected because of our condition, and I've got the same condition, although with yourself it's yours is technically diagnosed, whereas mine's still undiagnosed. And it's it's not common to have the condition that's not diagnosed because there's still so much research done on it.
Yeah.
And one thing for me is I'm very much in that similar position as yourself, just to inspire more people to go out and chase their dreams, to inspire more people to go out and do things, because nothing is the limit. The sky's the limit. Like there's no limit on what you can do. And
100%.
people like us, especially in the disability space, they are, it's a lot of you would say discrimination on people with disabilities because of a condition that they were just born with. And like by the end of the day, you can change that paradigm by just working on yourself.
Yeah. 100%. Like some people won't get it, and that's okay. But the ones who do get it are the ones that count.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, like when it comes to the things that count, it's like, well, what really matters in your life? Like you're either and for you, like in that position where you were like, money mattered obviously, but your health didn't. So you can either have a lot of money or your health is just going to deteriorate from that, or you can have both balance and money and health. And it's defining what really matters in your life.
100%. Your prerogative is like, it really matters like what your why is for what you do. Like money felt like it was everything, but now I know health is everything, and I know the money will come, which is just a byproduct of what I love.
Yeah, and like I like to call it wealth, because wealth is everything. Like wealth is your money, wealth is your overall health. So
Yeah,
as long as you are healthy and you keep improving on yourself, then you eventually there comes a point where it's just gonna drop, and the abundance will
yeah,
just flow.
yeah, exactly.
So what's your what would you say is something that you mentioned that you didn't want to share, and this is something that I'm actually going through. Not, I wouldn't say in my life I'm going through it, but it's like something I'm coming to terms with, where I know I've got the condition, but it's like embracing, and I know that I've got friends around me that say it's a very good superpower. But what would you say was the moment where you realized that you needed to share this with the world?
Um, that's actually a really good question, because I don't know if there really was a defining moment. It kind of actually, I can kind of remember what happened. I just said to myself, I'm sick of like I'm not gonna say like hiding it, but like feeling like I'm less because of this. And like I didn't wear shorts till I was 32, 33 even. Two years ago. I didn't wear shorts. I wore pants my whole life, because I was like, there's no way I'm giving away any of this to anyone, letting people know I wear leg braces. I'm like, I can't do it. It made me feel less. So a lot of people never even really knew. They would just be like, oh, you walk with a limp or whatever. And then one day I just woke up and went, I'm not doing another summer in pants. I just can't do it. I'm like, I'm not doing it. So I put some shorts on. I went for a walk, and it was just an amazing walk. It just felt so nice. And I was like, I took a photo and I put it up on Facebook, and I just went, all right, guys, this is it. This is me. I know a lot of you that have known me for 10 plus years don't even know I wear these, but I'm coming out of my shell. I'm not doing another summer in pants. And it just went ballistic. And people were just like, oh my God, we like literally had no idea. And I was like, all right, but everyone was so supportive. And it was like, all right, this is it. Now I can embrace it. I can be one with it. Like,
That's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. Like until someone sees it in you, they won't know.
mm,
And like, yeah, it's like I'm in a completely different. Whereas I used to say I had it, but didn't really. I used to use it as an excuse a long
mm,
time ago because of it. But now I'm like shifted that mentality. As you said, it's like you can't have any excuses in life, whether you are where you are, and like you got to own up to what you've got in life, and you're the projection of what you create in your own life. And for you to come out of your shell by just only 2 years ago and just tell to them like, look, this is me, and
yeah.
and that comes down like what like how come it took you so long? Like what was the it was
So I guess like, because I'm a little bit older than you, right? Like I'm 35. So the disability space as such has grown quite a lot in the last 10, 15 years. Before that, like especially in my childhood, like for example, I was the only disabled kid in my school, right?
Mhm.
Like in my primary school, the only one, right? So like, well, physical disability. I'll clarify that. Or physical disability.
Yeah.
Okay. And they were so inclusive with everything. It was really nice, like in that fashion. I didn't have a bad time there. But as you start to grow up and stuff, high school really takes you to a whole new place, because people are really evolving as males and stuff at that point, and they pick on the weaker ones. You know what I mean? It's 100% what it is. So that traumatized me into a way of, I can't be different. If I'm different, I'm going to get picked on. So in my eyes, I was like, be like everyone else as I grow up. And I started lying about it. I started saying I fucking crashed a car, I was in an accident, all that sort of stuff, because then that way people just go, oh, fuck, oh, that whatever. And they just wash it off. But the way that I embrace it now is like, fuck, man, this is my destiny, like this is what I was meant to be. And yeah, like back then, that's how I coped with it. Because I would just say, oh, yeah, I fell off a quad bike. And I'd be like, oh, shit, that's rough, bro. And then we would just move on. But if you would tell them what it really, like how it really eventuated, like, being born with it, they ask so many more questions. So
Yeah,
yeah.
100%. Like it gets shunned upon, and now it's like now, we're in 2023, almost into 2023, and it's like people are now embracing people with disabilities. It's like because they know that they're normal human beings, but we have. I don't like. I hate to segregate us because and I know like that word just.
Hmm.
I don't like to call it a disability
I
because
hate it as well. I don't use it as well,
I
but it's what we got. It's what we
it,
got.
exactly, like it's just the way it's called. I like to call it. It's like don't diss my ability
Yeah, yeah. No.
because we have like more like we could have we could have more things that we can do in our life that you may have never done in your life,
Yeah.
and just the way it's evolved from back when you were in school to back when I was in school. It's crazy to think like now we've got so many people out there doing disability advocate stuff and inspiring people to transform their life, and especially
Hmm.
in the fitness game. I know physically it's tough on our bodies,
Mm.
um, and it just helps other people get out of their own way.
Yeah. No, for sure. Like, and that's like, how do I say it? It's like if like people with disabilities born with it or not, right? Like they would rather not have it in most instances, right? So why do we need to be segregated because of something that we couldn't control? You know what I mean? Like it's like, oh, cool, it would have been great to have been born into a normal body, right? Normal, okay, but we didn't get a choice. So guess what? Fucking, you might as well embrace us for who we are because we didn't ask for this. So fucking here we are.
Exactly. We're in
You know?
this. I like to think of it. We're in this body experience to embrace life for what it is, and unfortunately, we don't we didn't get a choice. It was just our way of coming into the world,
Yeah,
and it's just what you do with what you've got, and we just live life the best way that we can. What we've got.
100%, 100%. But that's what I don't like, the segregation sort of thing. That's what I try and advocate for, inclusivity with things, because I don't think people should be segregated for any reason, let alone having a disability. I think everyone should be just able to have all, That's what I think.
Included. Like there should be a level of acceptance in a way,
Yeah.
because just because they've got something that's might look different, or what they say is different, or how they express themselves is different. It
Mhm.
doesn't. It shouldn't matter of all that stuff. You should just accept them for who they are. And yes, there's some people that may not accept that, and that's on them. Like that's not your own. That's their choice, and everyone has choices to make.
Mhm.
But there's this point where it's like you've got to come to realization that people with disabilities are exactly like you.
Yeah.
It's just they're
Yeah.
limited in some aspects.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's definitely something that I feel strongly passionate about because I see it in society, especially.
Mhm.
And so with this condition, so I know that you're in the motivational speaking, very similar to myself. What have you done to allow to give yourself the permission to keep doing what you're doing? Like, because I know there's some stuff that I know that like talking never stops in our head. So what are some practices that you do to allow yourself to keep motivated, basically?
So how do I stay motivated? Um, it's actually very, very simple for me to stay motivated. I actually, like, people ask me this question actually all the time, but like every single day that I open my eyes, which is every day so far, I'm like that fucking grateful I've got another shot at doing whatever I'm doing. You know what I mean? It's as simple as that. Like I'm like, eyes are awake, we're on. So the motivation is just flows from that second. But I'm not gonna say I don't have my down days, because they could be down weeks even, right? But on those days, I still try and do everything I do. There might just be a few things that slip. You know, I might go and binge eat a bunch of chocolate, or I might do this or do that just as a coping mechanism to get through, but I still stay as driven and as motivated as I can through those times.
Yeah, that's the answer I was looking for, because at the end of the day, we should be grateful for every moment we're awake,
Mm-hmm.
open our eyes, even though your life may not be giving you what you want, or your life may be maybe throwing you some curveballs. You just got to really understand why you're doing what you're doing. And
Yeah,
when you find that, like for you and myself, when you find that, it gives you motivation every single day to get up and do what you do.
100%, 100%. It's like it's just as soon as I wake up, I'm like, here we go again.
Do
Here
it.
we go again.
Get it again. Let's get it again. And it's funny you say that, because there's moments where we can sit in our shit for so long until we realize like we need to fucking do something about it.
Mhm. Well, like everything breeds whatever you're breeding. So positivity is going to breed positivity. If you're being shit, depressed mess, the more you be in that, the more you're going to breed it. So you need to fucking realize you're like, I'm depressed. This is okay, but I need to know how long I'm staying here for. Stay in this emotion.
Although I mean I agree in some aspects as well. Like, I mean, it's, you can say you're depressed, but don't put identity to it.
Yeah.
The moment you put an identity to it is when you're just going to keep in that state.
Yeah. Well, like what I do, for example, is like if I get upset about something, I go, okay, I'm okay to be upset about this. I'm feeling this. This is fine, but I know this will pass, and that I need to just embody that emotion for a minute to know that then I can let it go, and that's how I get past things, because everything's temporary. It doesn't matter. We don't get a choice in that. Like it is.
Yeah, your body's temporary, your spirit's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Like everything we in our current reality is temporary. You know,
100%.
we will be one day we're not going to open our eyes. It's as simple as that, you know?
Definitely. Yeah, and that's something that people take for granted. I know,
100%.
especially in where we're based, there's so many people that take their lives for granted, and whether they're doing stuff that they should be doing or shouldn't be doing, unless they see that in themselves, they're not going to know.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, straight up.
So how was like you said you're into holy, into like wellness. So what do you do to allow yourself that recovery? Because I know what I do. Like, I mean, physical recovery is very important, especially
Mhm.
with what we train and what you're training in gym. So what do you do that helps you with your physical recovery?
So minimum once a week, I do ice baths and infrared sauna.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's minimum. That's a 1 day non-negotiable. I also do massage with my physio as well. So that pretty much after a week of caning my body, that releases so much that's going on. Without that, I used to get a lot of pain, but now with that, that really fixes a lot of things. I have daily walks, which is another part of my recovery, because not only is it exercise, but it's like really good for the mind. I try and stay off my phone during that time, whether unless I find somewhere it's like an idea to make a video, it just sparks and then I film it while I'm in that moment. But other than that, I use that to just calm and pretty much prime my day for most days. And sleep is one of the critical parts. And I try and get to bed by 8 o'clock pretty much every night, and I get up at 4 usually. So but if I sleep till 4:30 or 5, that's my body saying it needed a little bit of extra rest. But that's the limit.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. And do you do any meditative practices? Obviously, the walking is one.
I do not as often as I should. It definitely depends on my state. I actually really use it as my. I would say I would do it every day, but I don't. I only use it really when I'm in a bad when I'm in not as a good place, because it really does help a lot then to bring me back. Like at the moment, I don't necessarily need it because I'm just absolutely flying with the best energy every day. So I don't even need that reset at the moment. But I do breath work probably 3 times a week as well.
Awesome. Yeah, that's something that I do on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to that. I have habits are built with consistency. And for me, I would say if I said to myself, I'm going to do breath work every single day, the brat in me will be like, just for some reason, one day, like, no, you're not doing it today. You know what I mean? I fight myself against it. So I say, I'm going to just try and do breath work more often. And then I will just slowly progress to the consistency level.
That's the thing. We fight it. We are the worst. We are our worst enemy because we fight it. And like, I know like 100% because it's like every day I'll do breath work, but there's one day where I won't do it. I'll just sort of just have a break because it's, even if it's like small shallow breaths, but it's not to the point where you're expressing too much. And that helps calm the nervous system down for sure.
Yeah. That's when I do it mainly, is because I feel myself being too taxed and I'm like, you've got this, it's 10 minutes, it's free, do it.
Yeah, that's true. And I know physically, and it helps physically, mentally, and spiritually, with breath work. And like, how often do you train? Like, what do you train? Like, how often?
My fitness schedule at the moment is Monday I train, Tuesday I do boxing, Wednesday I train, Thursday I do physio, Friday I train, Saturday I train, Sunday I have off.
You're training 5 days a
Yes,
week.
6 days a week. Mm.
Days. Yeah, I remember I was doing. I mean, I did that 75 hard challenge back in the day, and I was training like twice a day, 7 days. I implemented 5 days a week, but I was like, my body is just not used to this. So it's just like I slowed right back, and my training's a lot less than it used to be.
Yeah.
But that's really hectic.
Without the ice bath and the sauna and the massage, I probably wouldn't hold up. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I train all the time without that stuff. So before I even got into like the whole way of doing it, I'd train and then realize that my body was going through torture.
Yeah.
I did that. Now I implement I do a lot of ice baths and no, I wouldn't say a lot. I go there minimum once a week, very similar.
Yeah.
Adjustment every few weeks, the chiropractor.
Yeah.
That helps release the pain. And breath work also helps release some aspects of pain.
Yeah, for sure.
Have you experienced that before when you've done breath work?
Well, literally the times I usually use like meditation or breath work is when I'm in a state that I'm like, I require this. So normally I'll find my nervous system is taxed. And that's when I'll do breath work. And then I'm like, I literally feel all my nerves firing in my body and I feel fucking way more chill. So yeah, I feel the physical effect of it big time.
It depends on the type of breath work. What sort of breath work are you doing?
I just do like the Wim Hof 10-minute one, like on YouTube. It's perfect time. And I literally just feel everything just tingle across my body at the end of it. And then I can get up and just go about my day. Like,
there's so many different types of breath work. Like that breath work, the moment you start feeling tingling is the moment it's working. So you keep going. Because it's just this feeling, and then you just hold and you let go, and it's like it's different.
So
Having a facilitator with you is a lot easier than doing it by yourself. And
that's why I love Wim doing it. By the second round, I'm fucking tingling all over, and on the third round, it's just I get up after it. I'm like, oh man, how good.
Yeah. And then by doing the breath, depending on the nasal breath you're doing, it's going to help you with that as well.
Yeah. No, for sure.
So where are you're on the coast as well? Yeah, you moved from Sydney, yeah?
I moved from Canberra.
Canberra, yeah.
Yeah, I moved from Canberra to Ashmore, and then from Ashmore to Helensvale.
And we connected. I think we were following each other.
Yeah, for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a while. And then I think I was about 2 months on the coast, and we met up.
Yeah, it's definitely it's fascinating because I literally was trying to connect with people with this very similar condition, and I end up just putting out some posts, and it so happened to be that you were in Australia. I connected with another guy over in the States, and it's like I didn't know about people with the condition because I was so immersed in my own stuff.
Yeah.
And it's definitely something that there's so much being done on it research wise. Because you probably don't know too much about it yourself, right?
I honestly, so ignoring it my whole life, I knew very little about it because I didn't care. I was just like,
Yeah.
it's not part of me. I don't care. And so only in the recent times, and by I mean recent times is more when I started having issues, which were like at the start of this year, I started looking into it a bit more because it is progressive, so it does get worse. So when it starts to get worse, that's kind of generally when people go, "Shit, I gotta fix this." So that's when I started doing more research on it, and yeah, that's when I found out that hot cold therapy was one of the most beneficial things you can do for it because it's going to stimulate the nerves without your brain having to do it. So that's where I was like, okay. So as far as things go, you can be as good or as bad, just depending on you really and what you do with it.
Yeah. And does anyone else in your family have the condition?
Nope.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's a very very low percentage of the world that has this, 0.1%.
Yeah, and it's 2.6 million people globally that are affected
Yeah,
by it,
that's right. Yeah,
which is a crazy stat. Like if you think about how many people are in the world, which I don't
yeah,
know the stat on that, that's just
nearly
crazy.
10 billion.
Yeah, it's like that's unbelievable. And I know because for me, like my father's got the condition. Well, he hasn't been diagnosed per se, but he's got symptoms of the condition.
Yeah,
And then I could have kids and they could skip them, and then my brothers could have kids and they could have it. So
yeah.
it's just like a,
Well, it all depends on your partner as whether they're going to have it or not. That's where it goes. If you have the gene and they don't have the gene or whatever, you can make it so they don't have it. Like it's yeah, it's all dependent. Like it was my parents both must have had the gene and passed it on to me. That's how it happens. Yeah.
I never had anyone in their family that had it.
No. And then my sister, obviously with a different dad, doesn't have it, and my other brothers and sisters with different dads don't have it either. So it was just that combination.
The odd one, but the weird. The that's really that's fascinating because I know that could potentially have the opposite effect on my generation because
Mm.
my father's side I've got it, then it could skip like 2 generations or 3 generations.
Yeah.
And they don't have it. It's like
Yeah.
it's funny
It
how
could skip because that's what I mean. If you pass it on to your children and then they get a partner that has the same defective gene and then they create one, like that's just how it works. Because like I often used to think about it, I was like, how was I the sperm that won? That's crazy. I'm not far. You know what I mean? And then I was like, oh, it wasn't about that. It was about the genetic creating of me after that. So I might have been fast then, but then it really humbled me after that.
yeah. I didn't think of like that. That makes sense.
Yeah, right. That's why I was like, there's no way I won that race. There's no way. So yeah.
Not with the legs we have.
No, exactly. You know what I mean? You gotta think of it like that. You're like, there's no freaking way. What were they all doing? Just chilling? Like, I don't know.
That was
Yeah.
very, very interesting. And I want to like leave the listeners and viewers with just a piece of wisdom that like that you could tell them like you could tell them like what just like a piece of advice that you would tell your younger self. Like what would be something that one thing that you would tell your younger self if you were here? Well, he is here.
Find out what you're passionate about and absolutely fixate on that. Like 100%. Give it everything you have. And if you can't figure out what that passion is, keep trying until you get it. Because your life is going to be completely wholesome if you figure out what you really are meant to be doing. Like 100%. I've done many different things, many different jobs, many different things. And now being in this element, it is just a whole different ballgame.
100%, man. 100%. You're in the right place when everything is aligning with what you're doing in life.
Yeah, exactly. Like, how can I be fit, do all the fitness things I like, and then incorporate that into a job? Like, amazing. What? Okay. I'm
That's
down.
yeah, playing with that. But yeah, you're 100% right. Find something you love and just go for it.
And
And if
don't
it's not,
listen to what anyone else says. It doesn't matter if it's weird or whatever. Just fucking do that.
do what feels right to you because
Yeah.
whatever people say to you is people gonna give you shit.
Hmm.
Like, and that's the thing that, like, they're going to give you shit no matter what you do. As long
Yeah,
as you stay true to what you want to do, what feels right to you, go out and chase it.
100%.
Don't let the opinions of others cloud your thoughts, cloud your judgments, because you can achieve anything with the right people around you, with
Yeah.
the right attitude in life,
Hmm.
by just becoming a better person all round.
100%. 100%. And a lot of the time, the only people, the opinion they have on what you're doing is because they wish they had the strength to do what you were doing. So just do it. Don't worry about it.
Just do it. Yeah, there's an underlying a trigger and a fear from them by what you're doing in your life that they want to do.
Yeah. Maybe they wanted to be they wanted to be a rock star or something, but they thought it was dumb and they didn't do it. And now they're 40 plus years old and they look at you and go, oh, well, no, you're not good at what you're doing. You're like, okay. All right then.
If it
Whatever,
sounds
bro.
if it sounds weird, just do it. But my one piece for you is don't do something you may regret, because like there's so many people that go and do some stupid stuff, and I'm just like, yes, I get it, you're having fun, but is it really what you want to be doing in your life?
Yeah. No, for sure.
And look, where can the people find you? Like, what's your hashtag links? What's your social media?
You can find everything at Kyle Will TV or my website, which is kylewill.tv. There is no discrepancies. Everything's all the same.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Well, I appreciate you coming on. And again, for those listening and those watching, I'll love to hear your key takeaways, comments, shares in the episode, and like it. And thanks again, brother. Appreciate it.
No worries, dude. Thank you for having me on.